is a map of Mindanao, and it has a lot of well-known cities. We have here Davao from the east, CDO from the north, Cotabato City from the west, Jensen from the south, and many others. But what about here? We have already learned a lot about Philippine history, but there's still more for us to learn about local histories. So, we're going to be diving into the rich and bountiful history of a landlocked city here in Mindanao, which is also known as the City of Fruits and Highland Springs. This is the city of Kidapawan. This is the Kidapawan hymn, and there is a line that goes, "Natatangi ang iyong kasaysayan," which means your history is unique. And the mentioned line is indeed true, as the city itself offers a lot of history that it can't even be fit entirely in this video. Kidapawan is a city situated on the foot of Mount Apo in the Philippine island of Mindanao, inside the province of North Cotabato. Now let's begin from the beginning. The origins of how the city of Kidapawan was founded are diverse, as many of these historical records came from the oral traditions of ethnic tribes and the residents of Kidapawan. But it is known that the city of Kidapawan was first settled by the Obu Manovu, which is the ethnic tribe of the city and the first inhabitants during the pre-colonial era. We all know from our Philippine history that the Philippines had its name from the former king of Spain. But how about the city of Kidapawan? Originally, Kidapawan was from the district of Pikit, but was later separated. The Kidapawan name is said to have many origins as to where the name was taken from, but one that is known is Kidapawan originated from the two native Manobo words, namely Tida, which means springs, and Pawan, which means highlands. Together with Kidapawan, it is springs and highlands, which are words used to describe the area, and it even became the nickname of the city. As time went on, many Christian settlers from all over the Philippines, more specifically from Luzon and Visayas, came to the area, and eventually the name evolved and replaced the T with the K, turning Kidapawan into Kidapawan. In the year 1917, Kidapawan was declared a municipal district along with multiple other municipal districts under the Act No. 2711 of 1917, which was also the first Philippine law that mentioned Kidapawan. A municipal district is a township, and it is therefore not a municipality. When the Second World War broke out, the Japanese occupied the Philippines, and Kidapawan was not an exception. Japan was able to penetrate the Kidapawan and occupy the area for some time. Because of the occupation, guerrillas were formed against the Japanese with hopes of liberating Kidapawan and nearby towns from the hands of Japan. One of the significant persons during the Japanese occupation in Kidapawan was Eliseo Dayao Sr. Eliseo Dayao is a judge coming from Bulacan, but later was assigned and settled to Kidapawan with his family. During the war, he agreed to cooperate with the Japanese forces within the locality. But behind all this, he was also secretly assisting the rising guerrillas against the Japanese. Eventually, when the Japanese found out, he was abducted and possibly assassinated in 1942 when he was returning to Kidapawan from Pikit, and never to be found. The whereabouts of his body or where he was buried is unknown, but it is speculated by his family that he is buried somewhere in Barangay Muaan in Kidapawan. Today, the name Dayao is still well known in the city, and Dayao was named in one of the city's streets. In the year 1947, after Kidapawan was liberated from the Japanese, the municipal district of Kidapawan was then converted into a municipality under the Executive Order No. 82 by former President Manuel Rojas. With the said executive order, Kidapawan became the fourth town of the former Empire Province of Cotabato. The modern-day Kidapawan city has a total land area of 33,946.40 hectares. Historically, Kidapawan largely had an original land area of 273,262 hectares, around 8 times the size of modern-day Kidapawan. Compared to modern-day Davao City that has a land area of 244,400 hectares, Kidapawan would have been 28,000 hectares larger than the city of Davao. If Kidapawan retained its historical land area today, Kidapawan City would have been the largest city in the Philippines. However, that's not the case. You see, in the year 1952, Alfonso Angeles Sr., the former mayor of Kidapawan, attempted to acquire the municipality of Cabacan to reach the requirements of cityhood for Kidapawan. He was one of those many people who advocated the idea of establishing Kidapawan as a city. Unfortunately, the attempt to acquire the municipality of Cabacan failed. and instead of gaining more territory, Kidapawan suffered a great loss of land area. In the year 1951, Mlang was the first to separate from Kidapawan, making Mlang Kidapawan's first daughter town. Eventually, Tulunan separated from Mlang, making Tulunan Kidapawan's first granddaughter town. In the year 1954, Makilala separated from the Kidapawan, which made Kidapawan lose its border with the Davao province. Eventually, the west side of Kidapawan, along with the territories from Kabakan and Mlang, was taken to form the municipality of Matalam in 1961. By the year 1963, Magpet separated from Kidapawan and became its own municipality, which made Kidapawan lose all of its borders with the Davao region, besides from Mount Apo. Eventually, Arakan separated from Magpet. And finally, President Rojas separated from Kidapawan and then became its municipality, which made Kidapawan lose its border with Bukidnon. Eventually, Antipas separated from the municipality of President Rojas. Today, Kidapawan is surrounded by all of its daughter and granddaughter towns. But even though the municipality of Kidapawan lost a huge amount of territory, it didn't stop their dreams of becoming a city. In the year 1972, under the Presidential Decree No. 341 by former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr., the remaining Cotabato Province Empire was divided into 3 separate provinces, namely Sultan Kudarat, Maguindanao, and North Cotabato. The division of these provinces was mainly due to political, social, and economic differences. With the 3 new provinces, each needed a capital, and in North Cotabato, Kidapawan was chosen and appointed to become the province's new capital, bringing it closer to cityhood. Originally, the seat of government was placed in the Sultan Omar Kiram Mansion, but it was transferred to Barangay Amas in Kidapawan City. Today, the Sultan Kiram Mansion remains only a fraction of its original size as it faced a lot of disputes and demolition. And what remains of the mansion was refurbished and converted into a restaurant. Today, we are standing here in Barangay Amas, which is the westernmost barangay of the city of Kidapawan. And right behind me is the provincial capital of North Cotabato, where the seat of government of the North Cotabato province is situated upon. Finally, after decades of perseverance and hope, the municipality of Kidapawan was converted into a component city under the Republic Act No. 8500, signed by former President Fidel V. Ramos on February 12, 1998. By then, Kidapawan City already had and retained its 40 barangays. Its cityhood was approved after Kidapawan overwhelmingly ratified the cityhood in a plebiscite on March 21, 1998. It would have not become a reality if not for the dreams of the people of Kidapawan, particularly former Mayor Alfonso Angeles Sr. and the prime movers of the cityhood, such as his son, former Vice Mayor Alfonso Angeles Jr., former Kidapawan Municipal Mayor Luis P. Malaluan, and former Cotabato 2nd District Representative Attorney Gregorio Andolana, among many others. And the last municipal mayor of Kidapawan, Luis P. Malaluan, became the first city mayor of Kidapawan. The first fruit festival was held in 2001 and it was renamed the Timpupuk Festival in 2006, which is still being celebrated annually up to this date.
Ayon sa ilang human rights advocates, malinaw na may paglabag sa karapatang pantao ang mga pulis at opisyal na nag-utos at namuno sa maras na dispersal ng mga magsasaka sa Kidapawan City.
Isa ho magsasaka na ang kumpirmadong patay sa naging marahas na pagbuwag sa kilos protesta sa Kidapawan City.
One notable event took place in April 2016, where thousands of furious farmers from the province of North Cotabato gathered and blocked the Davao-Cotabato Highway in Kidapawan City to hold a protest rally demanding sacks of rice due to the failure of the government to aid these farmers during the El Niño season that caused a drought. After days of the rally, the police dispersed these farmers in an inhumane way that killed 3 people and injured around 100, while around 90 people went missing. The massacre went all over the national media, and the governments of both Kidapawan and North Cotabato were involved, which tarnished the reputation of the city and the province. Kidapawan's image after the incident has been greatly affected by it. So the government made this quirky idea to redeem the city's reputation.
Naapektuhan daw ang imahe ng Kidapawan.
nais ngayong baguhin ito ng ilang mga residente sa pamamagitan ng Cha-Cha.
On August 30, 2016, the city of Kidapawan, specifically the residents and the government officials, attempted to break the Guinness Book of World Record for the largest cha-cha-cha dance in the world during the Timpupu Festival. The event took place on the right side of the Cotabato-Davao Highway, just a few kilometers away on the same road as where the Kidapawan massacre took place. And successfully, Kidapawan defeated Singapore, the previous record holder, by 14,725 participants. And on February 12, 2018, Kidapawan City's anniversary of its cityhood and 2 years after breaking the world record for the world's largest cha-cha-cha, Kidapawan once again gathered its people and attempted to break another world record for dancing. But this time, the residents of Kidapawan and the government officials will dance samba. Kidapawan successfully beat the record with 15,230 participants. Today we're standing in front of the Museo Cotabato, which is the first museum of the city of Kidapawan. It safekeeps all of the tribal artifacts and the rich history of North Cotabato, as well as the city of Kidapawan. History plays a pivotal role in shaping our future today. It is the window of our people's past and the guidance for our future. We must never, ever forget our history, but rather protect and preserve it at all costs. Through the years, the city of Kidapawan has had a bountiful amount of rich history that we can't even fit the entire history itself in this video today. But it does truly live up to its lyric and the Kidapawan City hymn that the city itself has had a wonderful and unique history.